Yeah, Caitlin Clark, sorry to interrupt, Rebecca, getting into it with a fan who she was going back and forth with in the front row and pointing it out to the officials as Clark and Bonner have a conversation now too, and they're going at it. And now the officials calling on security to take a look. And now security is going to have a conversation with that gentleman.
A Connecticut Sun fan just crossed the line with Caitlin Clark. Security had to step in during the Indiana Fever game. But you know what's crazier? This guy was proud of it. He was bragging about harassing Clark after getting kicked out. What's going on with WNBA fans? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. This rookie is on fire. She's been crushing it since day one, making shots, dishing assists, and getting fans excited. People can't get enough of her.
Looking up a stat, I don't know if you know this or not, you probably do knowing you because you don't miss much. Caitlin Clark has personally received 17% of the flagrant fouls called.
5 of those fouls of 32 have been on Caitlin Clark. That's where we get the 17% from. She didn't cry. She didn't quit. She got up. She shook it off. She hasn't said anything in a press conference. No matter how good, how fast, how athletic, how high you jump, you can never catch up with the pace of the ball.
She's like a magnet for basketball lovers. But here's where things get wild. During a playoff game, some fan decided to act up. He was so out of line that security had to drag him out. And get this, he thought it was cool. Who does that? It's not just about one bad apple though. This whole mess shows there's something not right in the WNBA world. Fans, players, the league, something's gotta change. And we're gonna break it all down for you. You think that Connecticut Sun fan was just a one-time thing? Wait till you hear what's been happening behind the scenes. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom has unleashed a dark undercurrent in the WNBA, and it's way more intense than anyone expected. Let's break down what happened with that fan. During a playoff game, this guy went way too far with his comments towards Clark. We're talking shocking stuff, wishing harm on her and everything.
Definitely had our opportunities late, and then a few different miscues, and it's back to a 2-possession game, and we couldn't quite get over the hump there.
A couple of defensive situations that we're gonna, go back and be probably really upset about. But I mean, these guys, they battled, and these guys, they're a great team. Connecticut is a great team.
Get a little taste of, what's possible for this organization and for this franchise, and there's a lot for us to, hold our heads high about.
We're all competitors in that locker room, and so it doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good to leave here and not have the opportunity to get another one.
Security had to step in and remove him from the game. But here's the kicker. After getting kicked out, this dude was bragging about what he did. Can you believe that? Who thinks harassing a player is something to be proud of? But here's the thing. This isn't just about one bad apple. Caitlin Clark has been dealing with increasing hostility since she joined the league. We're talking death threats, harassment, the whole 9 yards. It's like her success has brought out the worst in some people. Rachel Dementa, a former player, shed some light on what's going on. She talked about a culture of jealousy within the WNBA. Some players are apparently not too happy about Clark's popularity and all the attention she's getting. Dementa said, with Caitlin comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. And with those millions, unfortunately, is going to come some people who are not nice. Think about that for a second. Clark's bringing in new fans, more viewers, and more attention to the league. You'd think everyone would be thrilled, right? But instead, it's stirring up all this negativity. It's like success has a target on its back. And it's not just Clark dealing with this. Angel Reese spoke up about the harassment she's faced from Clark's fan base.
Basketball is literally a game. Like, I promise you, it's literally a game. We have so much fun with it. But when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people who come down to my address, follow me home. Like, it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked. Literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram?
So we've got a situation where fans are going after players. Players are feeling resentful of other players' success. And it's all creating this toxic atmosphere. What's wild is how quickly things escalated. Clark went from being this exciting rookie everyone was hyped about to suddenly facing all this backlash. It's like the higher she climbs, the more people want to drag her down. But why? Is it really just jealousy? Or is there something deeper going on in the WNBA that's causing all this tension? Maybe it's about more than just one player's success. Maybe it's exposing some cracks in the foundation of the league itself, just when you thought the WNBA drama couldn't get any crazier.
The Caitlin Clark situation where Kennedy Carter side hipped her, basically checked her with a, side hip move and whatever, knocking her to the ground. One of the things that I highlighted was that Caitlin Clark's the golden goose. She happens to be a terrific talent who's white and very, very marketable. It's all justifiable because there were people that were pounding the pavement and going through so much to help elevate the WNBA's profile long before Caitlin Clark ever came along, and yet were denied that level of recognition.
The Chicago Sky decided to flip the script. They fired Teresa Weatherspoon, and now everyone's wondering, is this about more than just coaching? Are we seeing the start of a major shakeup in how teams handle their stars? The Sky dropped this bombshell out of nowhere, and it's left the whole league stunned. Weatherspoon wasn't just any coach, she was a legend in the game. Players loved her, fans respected her, and she seemed to be the perfect fit for a team looking to make wave. So why on earth would they let her go? Let's break it down. Weatherspoon had been vocal about player conduct and sportsmanship, especially when it came to those hard fouls on Caitlin Clark. Remember when she said that kind of behavior was not appropriate, nor is it what we do or who we are. Looks like standing up for what's right might have ruffled some feathers. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Chicago Sky had been under fire for how they handled those fouls on Clark. When reporters tried to get comments from players about the incidents, they clammed up. No one wanted to talk. That's weird, right? It's like there was this unspoken rule not to address it. Now, imagine you're Angel Reese. You're watching all this go down, and suddenly the coach you look up to is gone. Reese didn't hold back her feelings. She said, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life." That's not just disappointment, that's real pain. It's not just about losing a coach. It's about losing a mentor, a role model, someone who gets what it's like to be in their shoes. Weatherspoon wasn't just drawing up plays. She was shaping the culture of the team and the league. So what's really going on here? Is this about wins and losses, or is it about something bigger? The way the Sky handled those hard fouls on Clark, the player's silence, and now Weatherspoon's sudden exit, it all points to some serious issues bubbling under the surface. Think about it. We've got fans crossing the line with players like Clark. We've got teams seemingly okay with aggressive play that borders on dangerous. And now, we've got a coach who spoke up about it suddenly out of a job. It's like the league is at a crossroads trying to figure out what kind of culture it wants to have. This isn't just about the Chicago Sky anymore.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform, so how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school, like literally been playing each other since high school, and like knowing that like there's never been beef. At the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate. We're gonna play on the same team one day, I'm sure. Like we're gonna definitely play on the same team one day. So
maybe 2028.
2028.
It's about the whole WNBA. How do they protect their stars? How do they handle tough situations on and off the court? And most importantly, how do they create an environment where players feel safe and supported? Weatherspoon's firing might be the wake-up call the league needs. It's forcing everyone to take a hard look at how things are run. Maybe it's time for some big changes in how teams operate, how they communicate with fans, and how they handle conflicts. Speaking of changes, the WNBA's popularity surge is a double-edged sword. More fans mean more drama, and the league's at a crossroads. How do you balance skyrocketing interest with player safety and team stability? The WNBA is in the middle of a perfect storm. On one side, you've got Caitlin Clark bringing in millions of new fans. The Connecticut Sun's playoff run? It's been electric, with people flocking to see Clark play. But on the flip side, we're seeing some seriously messed up behavior from fans, and even within the league itself. Let's break it down. Clark's popularity is off the charts, right? But with all those eyeballs come some real jerks. We're talking death threats, harassment, the works. Rachel Dementa, who knows the game inside and out, says there's straight-up jealousy in the WNBA over Clark's success. Can you believe that? Players getting salty because a rookie's bringing more attention to the league? And it's not just about Clark. Remember Angel Reese? She's been dealing with hate from Clark's fans too. It's like this vicious cycle of toxicity that's spreading through the whole league.
Not calling some of these fouls and not cracking down on some of these cheap shots and hard fouls that are so excessive, not only against Caitlin Clark, but against other players as well. People to be more excited in players other than Caitlin Clark. People want to see a fast-paced, high-scoring, long-range shooting game from these women. People should know right off the bat, it shouldn't be the first round of the playoffs that players think that they can still do this kind of thing to Caitlin Clark, to Angel Reese.
Now, let's talk about what happened with that Connecticut Sun fan. This guy was so out of line, security had to kick him out. And what does he do? Brags about it like it's some kind of achievement. Who does that? It's not just one bad apple, though. This incident is showing us there's something seriously wrong with how some fans are treating players. But here's where it gets really wild. While all this fan drama is going down, the Chicago Sky drops a bombshell and fires Teresa Weatherspoon. This isn't just any coach we're talking about. Weatherspoon is a legend. Players loved her. Fans respected her. So why'd they let her go? Remember how Weatherspoon spoke up about those hard fouls on Clark? She said that kind of play wasn't cool. Next thing you know, she's out of a job. Coincidence? Maybe, but it sure looks like standing up for what's right might have cost her. Angel Reese was devastated by the news. She said, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. That's not just losing a coach, that's losing a mentor, a role model." So what's really going on here? We've got fans crossing lines, players feeling unsafe, and now a coach who spoke up about it is suddenly gone.
You knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. You had a decisive advantage because they made the mistake of letting you know who they are, whoever those people are. That's not the case with all. It's not the case with most. But those who screech the loudest get the most attention sometimes. And that's what the worst of cynics and critics do.
It's like the WNBA is trying to figure out what kind of league it wants to be. Think about it, the WNBA is getting more popular than ever. But with that popularity comes all this drama. How do they protect their stars? How do they handle tough situations on and off the court? And most importantly, how do they create an environment where players feel safe and supported? Caitlin Clark herself talked about the physicality she faces. She said, "Just let them hit you. I know I'm going to take a couple of hard shots a game, but should players have to deal with that? Shouldn't they be able to focus on playing their best game without worrying about getting hurt?" The league's at a crossroads. They've got this incredible opportunity with all the new attention, but if they don't handle it right, things could go south real quick. It's not just about wins and losses anymore. It's about creating a culture where players can thrive and fans can enjoy the game without all this negativity. So what needs to change? For starters, fan behavior has got to improve. No more harassing players, no more threats. The league needs to crack down hard on that stuff. But it's not just about punishing bad behavior. It's about promoting the right kind of fandom, celebrating the game, respecting the players, and creating a positive atmosphere. Then there's the league culture itself. If there's really jealousy among players over someone like Clark bringing in more fans, that's got to stop. The WNBA needs to find a way to lift everyone up.
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for league MVP honors.
More fans for one player should mean more opportunities for everyone. And let's talk about player safety. The league needs to take a hard look at how they're protecting their stars. Are the rules tough enough? Are they being enforced consistently? Players shouldn't have to worry about taking a couple of hard shots a game just because they're good. All right, let's talk about how we can change the game. You know what's crazy? We've got the power to shape the WNBA's future. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not just about the players or the league. It's about us fans too. Think about it. Every time we cheer, every ticket we buy, every comment we make, it all adds up. We can create an atmosphere where players feel safe and respected. No more of that toxic stuff we've been seeing. Angel Reese said it best. There's no time for it anymore. She's right. We need to step up and show what real fandom looks like. Support our favorite players, but respect everyone on the court. Celebrate the game, not the drama. Imagine a WNBA where every player feels valued, every game is exciting, and every fan is there for the love of the sport. That's the future we can create. So, are you ready to make it happen?